This is the Let's Talk About It podcast.
Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the Let's Talk About It podcast. Do we have it? We decided to go a little old school, just
back on the couch.
Back on the couch where it all started, Mia Moore. All started.
It didn't technically start.
Well, it did. The video did. The video version did start. So we just decided to keep it a little more chill with you guys today. And actually, we're just going to do not only more chill, today's going to be more of a catch up.
Yeah. I mean, we're very chill. My pants may or may not be buttoned. I definitely got coffee on my shirt. You might see me run out of the frame to go grab dinner.
Yeah. What do we got? What do we got cooking in?
Chicken wings! I'm so excited.
From where?
You know what? It's a family secret.
Okay, at least say like the type of what it is.
It's garlic chicken wings.
Garlic chicken wings.
Yeah, that I've been working on since early this morning, seasoning it, perfecting it. Like I said, family secret.
Oh man. Well, listen, we actually have a lot to talk about. We did a 10-day trip.
Yes, we did.
To Cali.
I don't have any songs. Wow, that's surprising. Okay, go ahead.
There's a lot, There's going back to Cali. So there's that one. There's California.
Yeah, I need something less mainstream.
But there's definitely, actually, no. There's a lot of things that are less mainstream. I mean, you got E40, you got Too Short, you got The Pack. I know I'm starting to get away from you on that one.
No, Too Short is mainstream.
Yeah. I mean, he is now, but there's some songs, though, that aren't. So, we did a 10-day visit. But part of the reason why we did a 10-day visit, though, was because we were there for my grandmother, actually. She passed away. And so we did a memorial. And so, is that the timer going off?
Alexa, stop.
Listen, y'all about to just get we are being, when I say we're being chill, we're being so chill. So
chill. We're like not your regular podcasters. We're the cool podcasters.
We got to pull the chicken wings out, guys.
I'll be right back.
So while Juby does that, but it was really a beautiful trip, though. Honestly, we had the opportunity to do my grandmother's memorial. And not only that, while I was there, that was the first time, guys, that I actually did the homily. But what was different was it's the first time I've done about 20 memorials and funerals and all that. And so this was the first time I did it actually for my own family. And so I was the closing speaker on that. And honestly, it was an honor. It was a privilege. My sister asked me, she said, do you enjoy doing that? And I said, honestly, I do. In a weird way, I actually like doing memorials more than weddings. And the reason why is it sounds a little morbid, not like, yay, someone passed. Not like that. But from the standpoint of weddings are always about the couple. But when you do a memorial, even when it's someone who passed away, it's always for everybody that's in attendance. It's for the living, actually. And so I actually love the challenge of trying to bring a form of peace and hope and closure to those who were there. And so what better way to do that with my own family?
Right.
And so it was truly special, just to be able to do that again. Like I said, I've done 20 plus at this point, but never for my own family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we just decided to make a trip out of it because the way these ticket prices are set up these days.
Girl.
Look, I'm not paying for no burn and turn trip no more. You will go and you will enjoy.
Well, I wanted to ask you as, someone who was there with, just talking about that whole weekend, actually, our Uncle Kyle and Aunt Diamond, the kids were there, and people from Sacramento. But yeah, just kind of talk about just what that weekend was kind of like for all of us.
Yeah, I think that's the first time I've seen little Kyle, Destiny, and Trinity in almost 10 years, because we saw them in Nashville for the reunion. So that was in 2017. Yeah, because it was right after we bought the house. So it's like they're adults now.
Yes, like literally, with the exception of one, but she will be.
Oh, yeah, she's 17, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, I was like, did I get that? Yeah.
No, you got it right.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was interesting. It of course didn't feel like enough time, because they drove up from LA. Kayla came in from Seattle and she had to get back to work fairly quickly. But no, it was really cool just to be under one roof, because we haven't had that, even though we've been rotating through Christmas breaks. Like, we haven't been able to see Uncle Kyle and his family. They haven't been able to make it up to San Francisco for a while now.
Well, you just said something specific. You said when we were eating, you said the last time that happened with everybody was
it was December 2016.
So pretty much 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. Man.
Yeah, the last time we all were around that table together having breakfast, and Nana was still around, because I remember it was kind of like the start of her starting to like lose memories and everything. And I remember we would, your parents just had like pictures all around the dining room table, because one of the things the doctors have mentioned is just like having memories around, so they're able to remember, because she was still walking and all of that. So I remember like sitting down at the dining room table, and there was like that plastic layer, and underneath the plastic layer it was like your parents had printed out a bunch of pictures and just put it on there, so like when she's walking around the house, that she can see it and recognize faces and all of that. So I remember they had just done that maybe like a couple of months or even a month before we came down for Christmas break that year. And this time around, when we all sat down, there was no pictures. It was just, I was like, oh, okay, like, and it was such a weird memory to have, but like, it's just something I was like, oh, like, it's really, really different this time, So yeah, it's been almost 10 years since we all of us, like the Lucases and the Bentons, sat down together. And had a meal together.
And then the next day, we just chilling at the house, and Robin dropped through, which is, I call her my twin cousin because we're 6 months apart, and she lives in the Oakland area. And so she came over as well, and I don't know, there was just this really cool moment where, my parents, are there, Kayla, my sister, you were sitting next to Destiny, who's the oldest of the three. I mean, like, to say out loud that she's in her mid-20s, that doesn't even sound right. But
I was telling Trinity, I said, Trinity, do you know that when I first met you, you were like this little turkey ball 2-year-old that was trying to take like an entire pizza and cram it down your mouth? And she's like, of course you would have those memories of me.
And that was just she's there, Trinity, Destiny, you, me, and then Robinson. And so it's like, there's this moment where there's just multiple generations. And I think what I'm loving about this stage in life right now, I know, is that we're all officially at this place where we can pretty much have the same conversation. And what I mean by that is,
we don't have to PG-13 it.
Right.
Or rated G it.
Correct. Yeah. Correct. Like, everybody in the room, again, with Trin being 17, about to be 18. And of course, they're pretty much having those same type of conversations with her already. So it's cool that we got to talk about everything, from politics to relationships, singleness and dating and marriage and just life, and then asking more questions about Nana and her sister Aunt Marquenta, who passed away a year and a half ago. And I don't know, there's just this cool moment of just being able to just talk, and it was truly no screen time. Like we were really just we were genuinely present with each other, listening to each other, pushing back each other, whether it was gentle pushbacks or actual pushbacks, but like still leaving like, hey, we're fam. And so I don't know, it was just there's this beautiful moment where I'm just soaking it in, because man, time is so short. And how cool that we're doing it in Nana's house. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know, from your perspective, just how was that whole weekend for you, from the memorial to that, or maybe not so much anything that stuck out, but were there just any personal, personal moments or personal reflections? Yeah.
I mean, I know I shared this with you, like one of the things, like as we were going through the memorial, One of the things I really wished for was, I was like, man, I really wish I knew Nana before this illness took a hold of her, you know?
So recap, Nana had dementia, and then it turned into Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
And the last 6 years were immobile, nonverbal. And quick shout out to Mom, Dad, you guys are amazing. Because you guys were the primary caretakers, and just to do what you guys did for the number of years that you did, just way too, I mean, it's the 10 Commandments. Honor your mother and father. Just amazing. So, I wanted to say that to Mom and Dad, just job well done. Not just as your son, but hear the Lord say that. So anyways, sorry, go ahead, babe.
No, I mean, yes, when I met her in 2010, she was still driving and all of that. She scared the living lights out of me with her driving. I remember being so mad at you. Like I was visiting you for the summer before our graduation, and you're like, oh, Nana wants to take us out to lunch. And I was like, cool. And you were like, why don't you sit in the front of the car? And I was all like, okay.
I didn't know anything of it, y'all. Like, I legitimately didn't. I had no clue.
When I tell you, I was like, oh my gosh, I am going to die in this car accident or in this car. But I mean, we got there, and I remember, like, one of my first interactions with her was her inviting me into her house, which I said so casually to your parents. And I was just like, yeah, we went by Nana's and she had us come in. And like, I remember your parents just being like, what?
Yeah.
Like, she does not invite people into our house. What do you mean she invited you into, you know? And then we went out to Sausalito, had lunch at one of our favorite places, you know, at Spinnaker. And after that, we walked around and did some shopping. And, you know, that's when I just started to notice a little bit of that. Like, I noticed change in her, you know. I was just like, oh, that's so interesting. Like, she keeps asking the same question, you know, not as frequently, but she would ask the same questions throughout the time that we were together. So, like, one of them was she found this really beautiful coat. You know, if anyone knows Nana, she had a great sense of style. So she found this really beautiful coat in her size, and she's like, I'm going to buy it. And I'm like, great, I think you should, you know. She buys it, and I'm holding on to it for her, you know, after she buys it. And, you know, she was just all like, oh my gosh, sweetheart, that is such a beautiful coat. Whose is that? And I'm like, Nana, it's yours. She's like, really? And I'm like, yeah. You know, and then like some more time would go by and we would go somewhere else, and she'd be like, oh, that is such a pretty coat. Did you buy that? And I'm like, no, Nana, you did. I was like, I don't even think I could afford to buy it as a college student, to be honest, you know. But I picked that up with her. I was just like, it's so interesting. She's asking me the same questions, you know, throughout the course of our time together. So I feel like I met her in the beginning of it. Yeah, starting point of it. Yeah. And at that time, we weren't even dating. We were still friends, you know. And then the next time I saw her was Kayla's graduation.
That sounds about right. Yeah, 2012.
From nursing school. So by then it was
peaking.
It was like peaking a little bit more, you know. She was still mobile and all of that. So I say all of that to say there is a big part of me that wishes that I had met her before this got a hold of her.
Let me ask you, after or even while sitting through the memorial, was there anything that you learned, you're like, oh man, I can see that, or maybe something was a surprise for you?
I think reading through her obituary before we even left, the fact that she worked with mental health patients, or with addiction recovery, that actually, like, I didn't know that part of her life. Like, and there, like, I knew that she, like, you know, she was in a fire and, like, you know, her body had gone burned up and all of that. I knew that, but I forgot it until it was brought back, and I was like, oh yeah, that did happen to her. What
I didn't know is I didn't realize how severe it was. That it was like, and
I also forgot that it was overseas when it happened.
Just learning all that was, I had no idea that that they weren't expecting her to make it. I think they said 30% of her body. And it happened when she was young, right? Like in her 20s or something like that?
Oh my gosh, I think she was 18, 19.
Okay. Yeah. So if that, so like, it just speaks to like, babe, I wouldn't be here. You know, like that's where my brain goes.
Yeah.
Like it's, if she didn't make it, and not only that, like my mom, you know, Uncle Kyle, Auntie Karen, just, it's amazing when you start learning about people's stories and you start thinking through, you know, they call it the butterfly effect. You know, it's, if this didn't happen, then that. If that didn't happen, then this. But it also just speaks to just the bigness and the divinity of the Lord. You know, just he kept her, man.
Yeah.
He protected her, and so just there's something, I don't know what word to find. There's something that's very I don't know, eye-opening, I guess. I feel like that's a oversimplification, but there's something that's just eye-opening when someone passes. You learn about things. You're like, man, I wish I knew that
I think
earlier.
you learn that it's not like, it's very easy to get into the main character syndrome, you know, and when things like this happen, you realize like,
unpack that main character syndrome.
It's not, I say it's not a bad thing, but you know, like you get so caught up in what's happening in your life and what's happening around you that you don't take time to consider what the generation before us had to go through.
Wow.
And also like what all the Lord had to put in place. Like there are times I sit there, like I'll sit like around and I'll think, and I was like, man, so many things had to fall into place for me to be here in 2026. Like if my parents hadn't met, you know, which it was an arranged marriage, but you know, if they hadn't gotten married, because sometimes I wonder, like, what if they had married other people, then I wouldn't exist, you know? So I think moments like this, when you're learning history of your family, you realize like, man, this thing is so much bigger than me. And it makes you feel like, maybe I shouldn't be so caught up in, you know, my own ish, you know, and like think that like only what I go through and what I've experienced matters, because there is a generation who's gone before me. And here's the thing, I am very well aware one day I'm going to die and there's going to be a generation that comes after me and they're going to also have to go through things too, you know? So it's that reminder of like, you're put on this earth for a reason, and don't waste it being so self-involved, you know, like do the thing, find the thing, and do it with everything you have, you know, even if it's like sanitation work, you know, for your Nana, it was being a doctor, like, you know, going through that fire and, you know, healing from that, you know, pivoted her life into wanting to help others, you know, so it doesn't have to be perfect. And for her to even get there, she literally had to go through the fire in order for her to find her, you know, calling. Wow. You know? So yeah, I think that's what it is. Like, memorials and funerals, just, it's not like, I see, I get what you say when you say it's eye-opening, but I think it's more like, oh, like you realize the smallness of your role. It's like, oh man, like, I am not as important in this as I thought I was. Like, this is part of a bigger story, and it's God's story. So, yeah. Yeah.
Death has a way of just making you pause, and it does two things. One, it makes you reflect on your own life. But two, it also makes you want to be more appreciative of the lives of those who are around you. It's interesting because today is the 2-year, you know, death anniversary of our other friend, you know, Craig. So it's just interesting how, you know, so something we did, we went out to a coffee shop that he introduced me to years ago. And so, you know, we got something to kind of commemorate. Is that the right word to use? Okay. Trying to get better, y'all. And, you know, so we did that, and it's just these last 2 years, it's really taught me, sweetheart, just the importance of, like you said, not just owning the thing that you're doing, rather it's being a custodian, an engineer, an architect, a doctor, a plumber, you're in the military, you're an entrepreneur, whatever it is. Number one, whatever your thing is, go all in on the thing. Forgive us, y'all. That sounded like it. Hey, listen, we're in an apartment complex. We're off the main highway. You guys are going to hear all kinds of crazy sounds.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a lot. It actually doesn't happen a lot.
No,
but,
it doesn't.
but no, it's a reminder of when you find your thing, go all in on the thing. And here's the other part with that. Even if it's not the thing that excites you, what joy and passion you bring into it.
Yeah.
And then in addition to that, really just seize the moments of the opportunity you have with your loved ones, because you don't know when it's going to go away.
Yeah.
You just don't. It can be as young as 20. It can be as old as 88. It can be somewhere in your 50s. So it's reminding me as well just to seize every moment. And I know I've said this before, but just as a reminder, again, in a perfect world, the average person lives to be 80 years old. And so if you're not around those that you would want to be around more often, I'll never forget when I think of that story. And when I first heard it, my parents were 60. You don't have, if you only see them once or twice a year, you don't have 20 years left. You have 20 to 40 encounters left. If the average person gets to live at 80 in a perfect world, keyword is perfect, and you only see them once or twice a year and that person is 60, you don't have 20 years left. You got 20 to 40 encounters left if you see them once or twice a year. Yeah. And so it's a reminder for me to enjoy, seize every single moment. So I hug my parents as if it could be the last time. Not in the sense of like a morbid way or a dark way, but just I just want to be so intentional with the people that I spend time with. Yeah. And yeah. So these last 2 years have really made me do that.
Yeah.
You know,
I used to tell Pastor Randy all the time, I'm like, I think I'm a little morbid. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, I think about death a lot. And he's like, okay. And, it takes a little while to be like, for Pastor Randy to be like, okay. And he's like, okay, tell me. And I was just all like, I always think like when I'm driving, like this could be my last drive, or if I'm getting on a flight and I'm like, there is no guarantee this plane will land. I'm like, I would like for it to, but there's no guarantee, So I think like living life with that mindset has really just helped me appreciate just smaller moments. But also it makes you, I think, a little paranoid too, because you're just like, I want to make sure like I have done everything I'm supposed to do. Like, I don't want to get to heaven and be like, hey, Juby, you lived a good life, like you lived a life that was fairly positive, you did influence, people here and there. But there was this whole sector that you did not tap into, so like I do have that paranoia of like meeting death without having tapped into everything that I'm supposed to do, I think I'm ready for death. We have our memorial service already written out, Oh, like order of service? Yeah, our order of service. We already have it written out. I don't think he'll do this for me, guys, but if y'all could just talk him into it. I have asked him on the night for my memorial if I could be propped up on a chair with my legs crossed, just looking at the audience.
She has.
I'm just like, it's my memorial. Why can't I be sitting? Like, why do I have to be in a casket? Like, put me on a chair. I want to, like, if you could just, spread my fingers out in a piece, just use a little stick to prop it up.
What is wrong with you?
It's just a wish, If we can make it happen, I would really appreciate it.
Man.
But yeah, I think there's extremes to both sides of it, living in that mindset of just like, hey, like life is not guaranteed. Like I very much so coming to terms with that, but it does also sometimes make you a little paranoid. Like, oh my gosh, am I doing everything I need to be doing? Like, if I die tonight.
Sorry, something dropped. She got passionate, guys.
And that's the thing I struggle with right now is if I die tonight, like, I don't think I can say like I've done everything I possibly could have. Yeah. And that makes me just feel some type of way.
For sure. I've something I've been saying now for probably about 4 or 5 years. I don't fear death. I do fear how I'm going to die. and I do fear.
Yes, don't let me drown.
Like whatever that is, right?
Yeah.
I do fear how I'm going to die, and I do fear dying full, meaning full of dreams, full of vision, full of
ideas, and
correct, full
passions.
of shoulda, coulda, wouldas. And so there have been some things this year that I have been taking those steps, steps of faith, and just like I've been doing things I haven't done before. And so that's my biggest thing, is that I want to die empty, meaning I laid it all out.
Yeah.
You know what? Funny something, not funny, but ironic, something McQuenda taught us. This was probably back in August of last year, but he was teaching us through the story of Noah. You know, Noah's Ark, which we all know is a very popular story. But the thing that he really honed in on before the flood comes, before the Lord floods the earth, it says that the text says, and Noah did everything the Lord commanded him to do. Mm-hmm. You know, and McQuenda started asking us, and he goes, imagine if Noah only did most of it. Imagine if Noah only did some of it. Imagine if Noah only did 99.99% of it. That's not the ark is not something where you can only do most of. You have to do all of it.
Yeah.
If you don't do all of it, part of it, there's some type of leak somewhere that thing that's not going to float anymore. But the text says Noah did everything the Lord commanded him to do. Mm-hmm. Then the flood comes. And so we're saying things like, Lord, bring the rain, or as Leviticus 26 says, it talks about fruit and harvest, and the Lord's like, okay, well, where's the ark? And did you do, oh, thank you, Lord. We just finished reading 2 Samuel, right, with the downfall of Saul. Saul did most of what the Lord asked him to do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But by that standard, he did most.
Yeah.
He didn't do everything.
Yeah.
And so Samuel, the prophet, who's the one who tells Saul is going to be king, says, because you didn't do everything the Lord told you, he's going to rip the kingdom away from you. And that's exactly what happens. So Saul ended up leading, and it ended up basically going to his own downfall because he did most of what the Lord asked him to do.
Yeah.
So I just want to stop and slow down and just ask you, as our listeners or watchers, are you doing everything the Lord's asked you to do? Not some things, not most things, not 99.99% of things. Are you doing everything the Lord's asked you to do? Because that's a question that you and I have been asking ourselves right now.
Yeah.
One of my favorite questions is, did you do the last thing the Lord asked you to do? So sometimes it's not even about getting a new epiphany. It's not about getting a new vision. There's a place for, and God is so gracious, he will also still do that.
Yeah.
He's so patient and kind. He'll also go, hey, I'm going to give you a new one. I'm going to give you a new one. And at some point, the Lord's also going, my daughter, what did you do with the last thing? My son, can you please finish that other piece that I asked you to do? Noah did everything the Lord commanded him. Manny Arango says, I would rather have a complete ark with no rain of the Lord than all the rain of the Lord and not an ark. And so those are the two things that I fear.
Yeah.
I fear how I'm going to die and dying full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's not a fear tactic of just, if you don't do everything, heaven's not the guarantee, the concept of heaven is not going to be taken away from you if you don't do all of it. Because I do believe Saul made it to heaven despite only having done maybe 75% of what the Lord asked him, and the reason I believe that is because when he had that conversation with Elijah in the afterlife, he said, hey, you're about to lose your kingdom and I'll see you soon. And I'm like, oh, was it Elijah? No, Samuel.
Samuel. Yep.
Yeah.
Samuel. Yeah. There's a lot of prophets.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So good job. Good recovery.
Yeah. Samuel was just like, hey, you're about to lose your kingdom. See you soon. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. When you picked that out, I was like, really?
Yeah. I mean, I'm 100% guessing Samuel made it. Mm-hmm. And if he's telling Saul,
based off that text.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the life that he's also led, as a prophet to Israel. But so if Samuel made it and he's telling him, I'll see you and you'll be joining me. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, Okay. So, I mean, disobedience doesn't cost you heaven, but it does cost you pain and time, and even just like in a sense of emptiness, you know?
Yeah.
And it's going to put you in places you don't want to be put in. You know, I've told you, you know, a couple of weeks ago, and I'm like, man, I've been walking in active rebellion. Like, I know what the Lord asked me to do, but because I was afraid, I was just like, I'm just not going to do that, actually.
Yeah.
You know, like, I had my own reasons. It's like, well, what about this? What about this? What about this? And like, instead of telling my brain, like, if the Lord asks you to do it, he'll find a way for you to go through with it. I was just like, I'm just going to make a decision. Did a group vote, and the group was me, myself, and I. And we all decided that I wasn't going to do it. And honestly, like, I don't know what that's going to cost me.
Remember that clip you showed me? It was this woman I was talking about how she felt the Lord clearly asked her to do something. She didn't want to do it anymore. Remember what her husband's question was, or response?
What's your Nineveh?
What's your whale?
What's your whale?
What's your whale?
Yeah. What's your whale?
Unpack that.
You unpack that. Because I just said, what's your Nineveh? And I was like, nope, that wasn't it.
Because God asked Jonah to go to Nineveh.
Yeah.
Basically to preach the gospel.
Yeah.
And, you know, for context, Nineveh is filled with a bunch of people that are terrible people that really put Jonah out.
It's like going to Oklahoma.
As a Texan. Oh man, for all those who don't know, if you're from the Bay Area, Cali,
they know.
that's like
they know. Oklahoma.
Stop it. But basically, the Lord, tells Jonah to go to Nineveh to
I do
preach
feel
the
like
gospel.
I'm going to get a text from Dave Simon.
We love you, Dave. Text away. And so the Lord that tells Jonah to go to Nineveh to preach the gospel, and Jonah's like, nah, I'm not doing it. And because of it, he gets stuck in the belly of a whale, for 3 days. And so going back to that clip of the wife you sent me, basically she felt like she heard the Lord clearly to ask her to do something, and she didn't want to. And so the husband's question was, well, what do you think your whale is going to be?
Yeah.
And essentially what the husband was getting at is he was saying, like, are you ready to take on? Like, you
get to choose your actions, but you don't get to choose your consequences.
There you go. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Say it again. For real.
You get to choose your actions, which I did, but I don't get to choose the consequences of my action. And like, going back to, I don't know what the consequences of that particular, I call it a rebellion, because it really was. I knew, and I rebelled because I was afraid. And it doesn't take God's kingdom away from me. It doesn't take the promise of heaven away from me. But I do know I've been conditioning, right? And I felt a little tweak on, like, my Achilles area. Instead of stopping to take care of it, I was like, nah, I'm just going to keep going full-fledged, So, yeah, it doesn't take away the promise of heaven, but I do know there is, and maybe there isn't. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but, and I have repented, and I was like, Lord, I know I wasn't supposed, like, I know what I was supposed to do, but I did let fear keep me from doing it, And I'm like, and I've even said, I know I don't get to choose what happens next. Because like this whole time I've been praying, like, Lord, remind me what my next step is. Like, bring it to fruition. Like, show it to me. Give me visions. And I and when he did, I got scared, And I was like, anything but that, Lord. Next,
Yeah. Well, and I want to add to be clear, it's very easy for people to hear what you're not saying.
Hardcore sin. I'm just
like, it's very easy to like, don't hear what's not being said.
Yeah.
Because I know you made a statement earlier saying how, like, disobedience won't keep you out of the kingdom of heaven. What you're not saying is it's not a license just to do whatever you want. And God's like, it's Paul would say in the book of Romans, like, this is my words, I'm paraphrasing, like, don't finagle the grace of the Lord. All right? Because there is such a thing. Obviously, yes, his hand will absolutely be removed from you. Scripture talks about that. That's not what I know. That's not what you're saying. I just want to bring clarity to that, because I know there's people sometimes that get caught up in the black and white thinking.
It just goes back to the grace of God. Like, God's grace is there, but also there's consequences to your action, you know? And it might get to a point, if I continue to be in rebellion, you know, and disobey what the Lord is saying, then yes, there is a really good chance that I am taking myself out. The Lord's not. I am taking myself out of the promise of heaven. You know?
Wow, babe.
So that's like one of the best things I've learned in adulthood is that God is not a God who is just like, one strike, you're out. And that's the God I grew up with as a child and as a young adult, you know, is one strike, you're out. So all I'm saying is, that's not God, but that also doesn't mean that he is not a jealous father and that he's not a father. You know, we're not parents, but just as aunts and uncles, there are things we do with our nieces that are just like, hey, just because I am reprimanding you does not mean I don't love you any less, but you need to remember this. Like, you need to remember this moment so you're not repeating it. So, yeah, I don't even know how we got on that whole topic.
No, I think it's, I don't either, but I know it did flow in the moment. No, I think it was just saying, like, living life well is that we were talking about.
And doing the whole 100% of what the Lord has said.
And part of living life well is being obedient to everything the Lord has told us to do. And so I think, no, that's great, babe. That's good stuff. One of the other highlights.
I was going to say, you know who didn't do everything the Lord told him to do? The Spurs. Let's talk about that.
All right, let's go. Okay, so game 5 was Saturday. So for us, that was about 4 days ago, the time that we're recording this. Hey, listen, if you're not a fan of basketball, stick with us. I promise you, like, this is going to be relevant. All right. So you were going for the Spurs.
Only because, okay, no, that's not true. Spurs is one of those teams that no one has beef with. Spurs is a very reputable team.
They're a respectable organization.
You know, and we all love Pop, and Pop has brought, you know, great honor to the Spurs name in, you know, decades before us. So for that, I was going for the Spurs. However, I was also low-key for the Knicks as well, just because you were telling me they hadn't made it in this far in so long, and, you know, and the stupid Mavs, love them, but they got rid of Jalen Brunson 2 seasons ago, and that just seems to be their thing. Like, oh, let's just let go of all the good players. Jalen Brunson, you're out. Luka, you're out. So I was conflicted. More than anything, I wanted a good series. I wanted a series that was worth watching. And so all of that to say, yes, I was cheering for the Spurs more than the Knicks.
Yeah, and I was Knicks all the way ever since they made it to the conference finals, the Eastern Conference Finals. I was pulling for the Knicks the whole time. I really was. I won for the simple fact they hadn't won 53 years. And kind of like you, if the Spurs won it, I remember thinking before the final started, if the Spurs won it, I would have been good either way. You know,
I didn't think the Spurs were going to win it, honestly.
Really?
Even though I talked a lot of crap.
Most people did. That's why.
I didn't, only because I was watching Wemby and the way he was playing, and I'm just like, it's not I hate to say this, Wemby is an amazing player, but he's not mature. And I'm just like, you can't have a particular, you know, I tell you this all the time. I'm like, we platform people before they're ready for it, you know? And I feel like Wemby is a prime example of that. It's just like, bro, you're just not mature. He literally acted like a baby some of those games. And I'm like, buck up. You're literally getting paid millions of dollars. Give me a show. I am not entertained.
So it's funny, to that point. I'm trying to remember. So all the basketball fans, like, go ahead and post in the comments. You can correct me. So I don't think Jordan made it to his first championship until it was either his 8th season or his 9th season, right? Kareem, he technically made it his 2nd year, but he didn't see it again for another 8 years. Okay, and then it was back. And then, of course, the dude's 6-time champion. So you have all these all-time greats who are multiple champions, but a lot of them didn't win it till their 8th or 9th year. I said that to say they either were in the conference finals the years leading up to it, right? Or they did make the finals and they lost. It takes some maturity. To your point. You're absolutely right. You know, and so what I loved about...
He's 20. He's 21.
So that's where I'm going with it.
He's still... I was going to say child. He's not a child. He's a grown man.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah.
He's still young.
Right.
You know, I was eating Taco Bell every day at 21.
There's certain things you can do. What you're saying is at that age that we can't do anymore now.
He's making millions at 21. So, like, we are from a different bracket, you know? So, yes, like, there are certain, like, things I needed to mature in at 21, you know, my cooking skills being one of them. And he just needs maturity in how he reacts, and just... One thing I've just really appreciated about
Brunson,
not Brunson, like players like Jordan and even Kobe, they never showed what they were thinking, like when they were out on the court. They just play the game, you know? And I have a lot of respect for people who don't throw temper tantrums on the court. And it's just like, man, you are getting paid a lot of money to show up, you know? So when people have temper tantrums and act like little babies, I'm just like, okay. So I've just decided I'm going to create a jersey that's not going to be a team jersey. It's just going to be my favorite player's jersey. So it's just going to be completely custom with all my favorite players, you know? It won't have a team alliance. It will just have player alliance.
And for context, let people know, like, even though you're going for the Spurs, your main team, though, is...
the Dallas Mavs.
Right, yeah. Right. Now, let me say this about the Spurs.
I will have a Nowitzki sign on the back. Oh my gosh, he went to the Phoenix Suns.
Nash.
Like Nash down here, you know, just create my own jersey. Just, you know, yeah. Luka. I mean, Luka could also afford to mature a little bit. I feel like it's happening in LA for him. Yeah. I think he finally realized, like, oh, I am tradable.
He still has his antic moments, which I hate to say that's the reason why he got traded. By the way, still dumbest trade in NBA history. 100%. I stand by it. However, I do get it from Nico standpoint.
Nico. Oh, wait, they did.
So let's talk about it. Pun intended. So when I think about Wembanyama and even Luka, I think Luka's like 27, right? Here's the thing that I want people to hear. Talent will get you in the room, but it's emotional EQ that will keep you there.
Yeah.
So here you have two players that are incredibly gifted. And it's a reminder for all of us, like, don't be the person who's known just for their talent. Don't be the person who's just known for the skill set. This is in every context. This is in church. This is in the military. This is entrepreneurship. It kind of goes, but there's a difference, and we talked about this before, probably 2 years ago at this point. There's a difference between the gifts of the Holy Spirit and the fruit of the Holy Spirit. And what the Bible would call gifts, fruit of the Holy Spirit, we would call character. The world would call character. And so it's just a reminder that, man, let as an encouragement to everybody. And I do believe this for Wemby. Like you said, he's 20.
Yeah, he's gonna get a couple of rings.
Kobe for sure had to mature. You know, dude was right out of high school. There was a lot of immaturity in his earlier years.
Yeah, he was 17 when he got into the league.
I think, you're right. I think he was drafted at 17. By the time he played, he was 18. So for sure, a lot of immaturity for Kobe. And so it's a reminder, like, all of us have immaturity in us. And so let these failure moments be the reason why you grow and don't stay immature. Yeah. You know? And so I really think it will. I think Wemby, I think there's a great opportunity for Wemby to take a step back and go, like, hey, bro, like, you got Tim Duncan. You know what I'm saying? You got David Robinson there.
You got Pop.
You still got Pop, right? Pop is still in the locker room. So which leads to the second point. I don't care what your age is, y'all use the people around you who've been there and done that. Like, these cats are 5-time champions. You know, Tim Duncan is in most people's top 10 player. He's the greatest power forward of all time.
Yeah, again, non-problematic.
Exactly. So it's like learn, and as a reminder too, there's a difference. I can't remember where I learned this terminology from, but I learned it when I was active duty. There's a difference, babe, between a skill set and a mindset.
Yeah.
So when you're thinking about someone's job, whatever your title is in that craft, you're building, there's a skill set behind it. There's a skill set to being a dentist. There's a skill set to being an engineer. There's a skill set to being an executive assistant. There's a skill set to being a pastor. There's a skill set to being, even when you get in the military, we call them MOSs, which is just a fancy way of saying what's your job. Yeah. Those are skill sets to do your job. But then you flip flop it, there's the mindset. And a mindset is the leadership stuff. A mindset is what's your attitude, what's your character, what's your integrity, what's your values. So this is why you can go to a leadership conference and you have people from a variety of different backgrounds in their job essentially. Mm-hmm. It's because you guys are honing a mindset. So my challenge to everyone who's watching and listening, don't just grow your skill set. You absolutely need that.
Yeah.
Again, the skill set is what's going to get you hired. The skill set's going to get you promoted, but it's the mindset that people want you to stay with them.
Yeah.
It's what are you doing to build your character? What are you doing to grow your values? What are you doing to build your integrity? You know, I feel like you want to say something. I feel like you got something.
No, I was just going to say, yeah, you can be the best at what you do. Like you can be like killing it in AI because, you know, that's a new thing. And I feel like I got to learn that now.
Yeah, we do.
You know, but like you can be the best of the best with AI. But if you step into a room and people like shrink back or just like, you know, coil away from you, then you're not winning. You know, like, yes, like that way you may know how to do something, but like if you don't have those relational equity where people feel comfortable or, you know, they can say things around you, then you're not winning. Or they feel like, oh, let me give this person the muted version of what I really think, you know? And like, that's a question like you asked that I really like. It's like, who in your life has the permission to say no to you? You know? So if you don't have that, especially as a young up and coming, because here's the thing, when you become celebrity status, you're automatically it automatically comes in with so many yes people. I think like your job then is to find people who will say no to you and say like, that's a dumb idea. Which is our true definition of accountability. Yeah. So when I hear someone, when we use the word accountable, we're not just talking about like, hey, who's your mentor? What friends do you have? What board do you have? That's great to have that identified. So I'm not saying to not have that. True accountability is once you have all those people identified, going back to what you said, can they tell you no? And so that's absolutely what I want for, you know, Wemby, the whole Spurs team, for them to grow, because I think they're going to do great things. They're definitely going to be winning a few rings in the next couple of years. Wemby legit has GOAT status potential. Yeah. Like he really, really does. I really do think they're the next dynasty. Yeah. Like I think they're going to take that from Golden State. Yeah. And they're going to be the next dynasty. Yeah. Unless he gets traded, but I don't think they're dumb enough to do that. No, Spurs, like you said, they're a respectable organization. So, yeah, I think they will become the new dynasty. They have a bunch of young players, you know, they don't have a lot of vets. So they'll be fine. Congratulations to the New York Knicks on winning. I really do wish it was till Game 7. Like I wanted to watch it till Game 7, you know? Your thing was, regardless of who won, you wanted to keep going. Yeah. Yeah. Like, I will say this was the funnest that I've had since, you know, either one of our teams. That you had? For real. Like, this is the funnest I've had watching the NBA, just as because I view sports through two lenses. There's the primary lens, which is your team. Yeah. But then there's a secondary lens where I'm just a fan of the game itself. And here's why I love sports, babe. One, it's not written. I got it. Those conspiracy theorists. You and my dad are on the same page with it. It's a setup. No, look, if it was a setup, I thought Spurs were going to get it, but clearly it's not. Oh man. But I love sports because one, it's not written. Two, there's so many life analogies and lessons from it. Yeah. And I learned this just myself, even just growing up as a kid. And so one of the things I did, actually wrote down, I thought this was pretty amazing. They were interviewing Jalen Brunson
which is, started the New York Knicks. And so they were down.
Who used to be with the Mavericks, just throwing that out there. If they want to hold on to his coat, like the little end of his coat. If I could just touch the end of Jalen Brunson's garment, it's like, oh, that's where the Mavericks are. Right there at the end of his garment.
Oh, man, I'm so sorry, babe. Man, y'all lost Luka and Jalen Brunson.
Lost or just gave up and voluntarily given away?
There was a message in that one.
Like, I don't think that's a lost. That was just like, here you go. It's when King Solomon had all these people over, like, look at my gold. It's just like, which one would you like? I feel like that's what Mavericks did. Look at our players.
It does not look good for the Mavs. I can't even front.
But we got Cooper Flag.
I will say something I loved though during his interview with Jalen Brunson, because they were down by 10 points in every game.
Yeah.
So actually, statistically, they're down 72% for the entire finals. And of course, they came back and won. Don't get me started.
Every single one of them, except game 3.
Yeah, exactly. Except for game 3. And so, but there was this quote that, because he was asked, how were you able to keep it going? And so he said, I didn't know if I was going to be this good, but you never know what's going to happen unless you continue to work hard. And I just appreciated that even he recognized I didn't know if I was going to be the player that I am right now.
Yeah.
It's funny, we're watching videos even 3 or 4 years ago when they traded, and the Mavs gave him up to the Knicks. Everybody was like, he's not even a top 10, point guard, not even a top 10 player. He's not even a top 10 point guard right now. And here's the thing. It's one of those things where what I appreciated was, one, he didn't get caught up in the noise. And number 2, even he was like, I don't know if I'm that. But which leads me to the next quote. He said, here it is. Every time I had the ball, my confidence comes from my work ethic. So the 2 things that I just got from that is, number 1, are we mature enough when we're put in a situation that maybe was out of our control? You have some say as a player, where you want to go, but also depending on the level you're at, you don't.
Yeah.
The trade is going to happen regardless if you like it or not.
Hawaii? No, you get Alaska.
Oh, man.
I am hungry and highly caffeinated right now, so filters tend to fall off.
Oh, that was a great example, though. It's true, but here's the thing. When you don't choose, and guess what? He probably did complain about it for a little bit. It was like, dang, y'all don't want me? But even with that, he put in more work to get to where he's at. And now this dude's a champion.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, babe, he's not just a champion. He's not the reason, but he's the one that led them. Everyone knows that he's the leader of that franchise. And so where I'm encouraged by this is you may not get to choose where it is that you want to go, but you do get to choose how you respond to it, number 1. And number 2, when you're down in life, right, are you going to sit there and panic? These guys came back from a 29-point deficit.
Yeah.
22 points, which I think was 9 minutes left in the half, I think. Or even not the half, in the fourth quarter. It's the greatest comeback, by the way, in finals history. That game, specifically.
Yeah.
And to hear him say, here's another quote. He said, you're allowed to think about the worst possible scenario, but you've got to go out there and do something about it. So can I just say to everybody, you might be down in life right now. What are you doing about it?
Sorry, I was looking up something because one of my favorite quotes falls in line with what he said or what you said right now. It's from that book with the horse and the mole and something.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite quotes, which made me buy the entire book, was one of our greatest freedoms is how we react to things. And because I think it was a mole was just like, man, you're so calm, what's happening? And he said that, and I was like, man, how true, how true, that truly is one of the greatest freedoms of our lives, is how we get to react to things and how we get to influence things,
Yeah.
And sometimes you just do things for the passion of things, because you said earlier, he didn't even think he was the best at what he did, but what he did do was he kept playing, you know?
Yeah.
He kept showing up because he had a passion for the game. And sometimes that, like, you may not get regarded as the top in your field or in what you do. Like, not everyone can get the Soldier of the Year award, you know? But that doesn't mean you don't keep showing up as a soldier every day when it's time to PT, you know? It's like, well, I didn't get it this year, so I'm just going to stop soldiering, you know? Sorry, you signed a contract, first of all. It's called AWOL if you do not show up. However, it's the same in life, you know? Like, it's... Babe, I might live the rest of my life in ambiguity and, like, never really be known for what it is that I do. Which I don't even know what it is that I do, but so that works out great. But if I do, like, the passion that the Lord has placed in me has to be enough to keep showing up day after day. So
that's good, babe.
Yeah, I think that's what I really like about the ones that do show up and do get, you know, the final title, you know, whatever. It's like, man, they just kept showing up. Like, they're like, I don't know if I'm the best. You know, there wasn't a bunch, like, a year ago, no one was talking about Jalen Brunson. Like, oh, keep your eye out. This. Yeah, keep your eye out on that kid. He's the next big thing. Like, let's be honest. Luka gets that. Luka's good. Wemby gets that. Wemby's good. Giannis, great. He gets that. Keep your eye open for this kid. He's the next best thing, you know? Brunson wasn't getting any of that, you know? But he's just like, man, I'm going to still show up, you know? Like, I remember my grandmother used to tell me, she was just like, if everyone's a doctor, who's going to be the patient? Essentially, if everyone wants to be the greatest and be known, then who is going to, like, you know, be the other part of it that makes it, keeps it moving? So, yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that's great, sweetheart. I mean, just even going back to his quote about anytime he had the ball, he trusted his work ethic. The reason why that hit me so hard is, you know me, I value people who have a strong work ethic.
Yeah.
So what he said was, I've heard the quote before. He didn't say this, but it reminded me of this. Be competent because competent is what gives you confidence. It's possible to be confident and not competent at what you do. But it's impossible to be competent at what you do and still have confidence. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I just appreciated that. It was just a reminder for me, like, don't trust actually so much the moment. He didn't put stock basically in the moment of what he could do. He put his stock in what he already did.
Yeah.
Which, again, was his work ethic. So what I would say to all of us is, when you're thinking about wanting to be an all-time great in whatever thing, especially if the Lord's called you to it, how's your work ethic? Colossians 3:23, which is you and me's work value statement, it says, everything you do, you don't do it as if you're doing for man. You do it unto the Lord. So it doesn't matter if I like the person that I work for or if I like the people that I work with. Erwin McManus calls it self-mastery. Yeah. And there's a difference. Let me talk about the first one. The first one is, say you work at the job that you love the people that you work with, you love the boss or supervisor that you work for. So because of those three things, you bring the best version of yourself. But that best version of yourself is not self-mastery. That's self-revelation. Self-mastery is the ability to bring your best self when you don't like the person that you work for, when you don't care for the team that you work with, and you don't really care about the job, but you still bring your best self. Yeah. That's self-mastery, which once again is a mindset. Right. So it goes hand in hand. It's how's your mindset as well as how is your work ethic, which is a skill set. So if you want to be the best at your craft or whatever it is that you do, wherever it is the Lord has placed you, what are you doing right now to build that? That's what I loved and admired so much about this run. Yeah. And even hearing him speak, you can tell he's like, this is not owed to me. He does not have an entitlement. Yeah. Honestly, this is really because of my dad. I don't have the term deserve in my vocabulary. Yeah. I don't deserve anything. I'm either blessed because the Lord, for whatever reason, in his goodness and his kindness, has blessed me with it, or I've worked for it. So I'll say I earned it. Yeah. But even when I have earned it, it's actually because of the goodness of the Lord. And so my thing is, like, if I'm going to err, I would always rather err because of God. At the same time, the Lord doesn't reward a fool. Yeah. You know?
It's funny because I keep Phil's words in my mind when it comes to deserving something. Phil Parr. I remember when we were in college. I don't even know how we got on the topic, but we were talking, and he's like, "I don't deserve anything in this life," and he's like, "The only thing I deserve in this life is death, and that itself has also been taken away from me by Christ."
Wow.
And I remember when he said that, and I was like, "Dang." Okay. And it's just like anytime like I hear the word like, "Oh, I deserve that," I'm just like, no, the only thing you deserve is death, and that too has been taken away.
That's so good.
Yeah, and like so I've always kept that. So shout out to Phil, College Phil.
Yeah.
Honestly, he's still Phil.
Oh, man. No, I love it. That's great. Last thing. Last week was probably one of the best weeks in the sense where we had to catch up with like a lot of our childhood friends. You know,
well, your childhood friends.
Yes, fair enough. So when I say childhood, I'll be more specific. High school.
Yeah.
But you got to meet them.
I married into it.
You did.
And I've pretty much adopted them as mine.
And well, not just that. This is what I love. They've adopted you as their own. I love that you, and not that there's anything wrong with it. Sometimes like you want all friendships, obviously. We all want all friendships to be as natural and organic as possible. We also know that's not realistic. And sometimes that's not always going to happen. And that's not a bad thing. It's not because they're a bad person or you're a bad person. Sometimes things or people just don't click.
Life happens. You grow up.
Right. Whatever that, like, whatever the reason is.
You recognize, like, there's a lot of my childhood friends, and I'm just like, we had things in common then that we don't share the same values. We don't know, like, so it's like, I think one of the biggest struggles as we were growing up is just recognizing like it's okay that we're not as deeply, in the trenches with each other because we've grown up, we've recognized who we are. Like the people I went to high school with, like I don't have anything in common with them, and that's not a bad thing. We've all grown up. We've all figured out what it is that we want, and there are some people like that I wasn't even friends with in high school. Like if I meet them now, I'm like, oh dude, you're cool. Like, I mean, not like people are uncool, but like,
I know what you mean.
Like our values align and what we want to talk about is there, Yeah. So, I think like people get really caught up and they're like, oh man, I'm a ride for, cause I've known him since the minute I came out of my womb, whatever. Like, I think there is that, there's loyalty we give to people where the relationship's been dead for a while, because I said all of that to say the people I feel closest to now, babe, have been people I've met in the last decade or so. Like I look at my relationship with Jess, like we talk pretty much every single day, maybe just sharing our game scores, whatever.
Yeah.
Like I've known her less than a decade, troppers, the papalies.
Yes, the papalies.
So it's like, I look at the relationships and I'm just like, a lot of them I became friends with once I became an adult and like my amygdala has been formed, So yeah.
Well, it's been cool for me to watch, you build your own bond with my friends' wives.
Yeah. They're some cool people.
They are pretty cool people, actually. Just them, the Browns, the Johnsons, just that to me has been the best part.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I remember obviously like when we got married and everything like that, I knew like you get along with them and vice versa. I did not think it would be what it is now in the sense like you have your own friendship with them.
Yeah.
Meaning you talk to them on the side without me. And so, we literally get to see them once a year, if that, twice a year on a very good year.
Yeah.
And I just love that anytime we get together, it feels like we're picking back up where we left off.
Yeah, it's never awkward.
It's
never fillers. So like, oh.
I mean, we dive deep like within 5 minutes. It feels like sometimes.
And it's add some tacos and supersized burritos, and we're good to go.
100%. So that was just a gift too. And I think it's just a reminder, for everyone. Like, man, it's okay to assess friendships. It's okay to ask yourself like, Based off of where the Lord has you now and where he's taking you, are you surrounded by the people that you love to take you there? Number one. Number two, there's some friends in life that you may not see on a regular basis. Obviously, these particular friends are back in Cali, but we stay in touch as much as we can through text and whatnot. And every time we see each other, there is truly zero offense on how long we may not have spoken. And we pick up right back where we left off.
Yeah. You missed one of your best friend's birthdays yesterday, and one of the first things he said was, glad we don't get offended over these things. And I'm like...
thanks for your grace, James Brown.
I'm like, I'm more offended that we missed it, but,
And the funny thing is, we had a 10-year stretch where we missed each other's birthday by like 1 or 2 days.
Yeah.
Like, every year we just... Did I miss it? It's like, it was yesterday or it's tomorrow. And then we got on it.
Yeah.
And then we...
Social media helped. Yeah, social media helped a lot. They're like, their spouse will post about it. I'm like, I was like, we need to check our calendar. And the crazy part is all of it's on our calendar. Like, I'm one of those weirdos where anytime someone says something to me or, like I find out it's their birthday, I will put it on our calendar.
Yeah.
So I could be like, and it could be something so silly as our friend Mon, like when she got her American citizenship, I put her citizenship anniversary on our calendar, or it could be like, oh, this is the first date so-and-so went out on a date, like, because if it like, what's the word I'm looking for? Transpires? No.
Expires.
Maybe. No. Oh. If it goes into like a marriage or, like a whatever, I can just be like, hey, I have on my calendar the first day you went out on a date with so-and-so, So I am one of those weirdos that put a lot of things on the calendar.
I don't think that's weird.
I just...
No, for real. The reason why I don't is because it shows that... It shows not just attention to detail, that you care about special moments in other people's lives. And the cool thing is when the next year comes around and we bring it up, they're like, oh, wow, like it was a year ago. It doesn't just be, it's more than just a cool talking point. It's a moment of reflection.
Yeah.
So it's not weird.
Yeah. And Aman was just like, you have that on your calendar the day I became an American citizen? I'm like, I do.
Well, I think maybe the reason why they think it's weird or other people.
Well, she didn't think it was weird.
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm making a general statement right now. I think sometimes maybe other people might think it's weird because they're not thinking to do that.
Yeah.
And I just think that speaks to your intentionality, which I think is great.
Yeah.
You love, something you do well is that you celebrate people that you love well. And so I think things like that, capturing those moments, is a way of doing that, which I think is great.
Yeah.
I wish more people did that.
Yeah.
So.
You may not get a card, and you may get a gift a year later than that. Like, I feel like I have a gift I'm supposed to be sending off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been sitting in the guest bedroom for like a year now. Huh.
I don't even know which one she's talking about. Now I'm curious.
The Nikes.
Oh, yeah, okay. Fair enough. Well, this was fun.
Yeah.
Fun, nice little catch up. Nothing too serious or anything like that. Oh, also the World Cup has happened.
Yes.
So
we're going to go partake in some celebrations. We don't have any team we're rooting for because India didn't make it.
Well, I mean, I'm rooting for the USA personally, but
USA already won.
Yeah, I mean, it's not over though.
I don't know.
Like it's like a.
I'm just showing up so I don't get fined kind of situation here.
We're clearly more casual viewers. And
that's the thing too. Like if we had a Game 7, I could be watching Game 7 right now instead of trying to figure out soccer rules, even though I played soccer.
Well, the World Cup too is in our backyard, so that's pretty dope. Here,
one of them.
Sorry, yeah, it's in the DFW
We're one
area.
Of the hosting cities.
Yeah. Sorry, real quick, and we'll end here. Something you said is what's been like your new favorite hobby lately.
Oh my gosh.
And why?
Okay. My new favorite hobby has been seeing other people experience America. Like all the people that are coming over to just anywhere in America, any of the hosting cities, and them getting to experience America. And it's funny because I read a comment on one of the videos and it said like people who've never lived outside of America can't really appreciate all that America has to offer. And I was like, oh, that's high-key, low-key true, you know? I wasn't born in America, so when I first came here, everything was just like, oh my gosh, like what, you know? And then you just get used to it. You know, you get used to it and you get like a little complainy about certain things and not live with so much gratitude. You know, everything's problematic after, you know, like after you've been there for a while when you're like in it, right? So seeing people, like seeing it from their perspective, enjoy the country that I sometimes get tired of, has been like, oh man, like actually like I am so blessed. Like, and I was talking to Jess about that earlier today when we were grocery shopping, and I'm just like, just the simple things we take for granted. She was like, I like living in America because I don't have to worry about keeping my mouth shut while I'm showering, you know? And I'm like, yes, and ice cubes. Like, I'm like, some countries don't do ice cubes.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
That's kind of like an American thing.
How do you not do, I don't understand. How do you not do ice cubes?
But also think like they're going to use their tap water to make the ice cubes, because they're not going to use spring water or purified water to make ice cubes in mass.
Fair enough.
So like, yeah, they keep it away from foreigners. And the other thing was air conditioning, you know? And I know it's like, and I know in the last 6 years, we've kind of been in the trenches of like, oh, America's the worst, or like, you know, not my words, other people.
Yes.
But like, you know, it's like we get so caught up with a lot of
Minutia.
Yeah, you know, and there's so much division. I'm going to make a very bold statement. So many people claim 9/11 was a big unifier for them. You know, it's like, we've never been more united than right after 9/11. And I've always told you it wasn't true for me, because I was a brown girl and people didn't know which sect of brown I belonged to. So for them, they're like, you're one of them. So for me, it wasn't a unifying moment. It was a moment where I had to make jokes about like, oh yeah, like before,
Kind of clowning on yourself.
Yeah, before you even step into a room, you know, like you kind of clown on yourself. I've told you like recently, like in North Texas, I've been watching, just, you know, taking a step back and watching like the anti-Indian rhetoric that's been happening a lot of, you know, and it's just been really interesting to watch like the people who comment on it. And I'm just like, yo, we do life together somewhat, you know, like, thanks for letting me know how you really feel, you know? So like 9/11 wasn't a big unifier for me, you know, it made me more paranoid. It changed the way I travel, you know, like I was always randomly, me and my brother were always randomly picked, you know, by TSA to do checks and stuff. Even when I was getting my TSA pre a couple of years ago, like it took a while for mine to come through, whereas I went with another person and they got theirs within like a week, and mine still took like extended time, you know. The World Cup has felt like a unifying moment for me, because I am watching like little old, you know, Kansas City host like Iran. I think that's like, I'm just making up random countries that are, you know, but like it's, y'all don't speak the same language, y'all don't have the same religious beliefs, you know. Yet like this whole town, it's called Lawrence, I think, Lawrence, Kansas, maybe, I could be wrong, but you see this entire town come together and just like welcome people with open arms, like, man, you're our brother now, you know. I told you about the guy that has been making breakfast for his Scottish neighbors who have an Airbnb, you know. So like I'm literally just watching this like with tears in my eyes, and I'm just like, man, this is such a unifying moment. Like we're no longer black, white, you know, Indian, from the Netherlands, you're Dutch, you're this, you're that, you know, you're just a fan of the game. We're all just human beings. And I don't think we've had a unifying moment like that in a really, really, really long time. And I think we were long overdue for it. And if we allow it, this will sound so like, oh my gosh, but if we allow it, I think this can also help heal a lot of the wounds the past couple of years have caused.
Like prejudices and all that.
Through the division and all of that.
Politically, colorism, all that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, I love now, like my algorithm has definitely picked up, you know, like having the Japanese team here and them experiencing Buc-ee's and Texas barbecue. And it's been thrilling to watch. It's given me more of an appreciation for my everyday. You know, for me, Buc-ee's just like, okay, like after a while, the shine wears off of Buc-ee's. Like, will I still take a guest there? Yeah, absolutely. Like if you're visiting me, we're going to Buc-ee's, you know? But yeah, I think like it's just been super cool to watch. It's given me a new perspective. And it's also been healing for me personally, just to see people be people, and we're not divided by this, the color of our skin or the language you speak or our religious belief. We're just human beings. So I've loved it.
No, for sure. And thank you for sharing that, because, you know, obviously we're talking about this, you know, off camera, but obviously, listen, no one's saying America's perfect. Okay.
Oh, no.
Let me not say that. Maybe there are some people saying that. We're not. And I'm very much so proud of being American. Yeah. I'm beyond proud. I serve. I wear the uniform. Yeah. I've deployed. We have a very jaded history. Right. There's a lot of dark spots throughout history over the past hundreds of years. And it's very easy to villainize and demonize all those moments without also stopping and thinking about the opportunities that we have here. And so, yes, like anything in many or most things in life, it's not perfect. And the amount of opportunities we have here, the amount of things that we're able to do. And so to everything you're talking about with the World Cup, how it's seeing certain experiences through the lens of other people for the first time, it does exactly that. I had a similar one in the Army when I was at the chaplain school. Had to redo officer school because I swapped corps. And I'll never forget, there was this one guy. He was a first lieutenant, direct commission. And, you know, for context, for those who don't know, when you go to officer school, everything's provided for. You know, you got your own room, you get a meal card, so you're not paying for any of that. And so, needless to say, whatever you get paid, you're pretty much banking. You don't have any bills, you know, for obvious reason, because everything is taken care of for you. And at this point, we're about 4 to 5 weeks in, and this was this person's first time in the Army. So if it's your first time, it takes a while for pay to kick in, right? And so we were walking to the commissary, which is like our grocery store. And I'll never forget, they're like, hey, bro, it's like, someone said, yeah, that back pay's going to look really good. And he goes, what? He said, you're going to get back pay. And he goes, I get back pay? And we go, bro, you're on orders. The Army legally has to pay you. He goes, I mean, they're keeping me in a hotel and I got a meal card. Like, but I get back pay? That's amazing. We all just started laughing, but that was such a humbling moment for me. Like at that point, I hit my halfway point. I've been in 10 years. Yeah. And like, here's this guy, he's just happy to be in the Army. Yeah. He's just, it reminds you, he has a wife and a child back home. He's like, I mean, he's like, the pay will kick in whenever it does. I mean, he was just beyond just the same thing. At that point, been in 10 years, I've experienced a lot of things. Yeah. You know, I've experienced some jaded people, some jaded culture. But guess what? I've also experienced some great stuff too. Yeah. I've experienced some incredible people. And here's the thing about life, y'all. Regardless if it's politics, racism, abuse, whatever it is, listen, no one gets out of life being unscathed. Okay. It's going to happen. Regardless of what it is, at the end of the day, it's human nature. We naturally like to reflect and magnify the bad, and we don't spend enough time reflecting on the good. I'm talking about me right now too. Yep. Like this ain't
the shaking of the head. So listen, is for me.
I'm not even talking to you. This is for me and Juby right now. All right. Yeah. Maybe I'm just going to talk to us. But it's life has a way of, when it does kick you down, it has a way of you just thinking about the negative. Yeah. And so as you're talking about the World Cup, it made me think about that moment, you know, of Chaplain Bullock, you know, basic officer leaders course for me, to see my classmates' experience through his eyes. He was so thankful just to be there. Yeah. And here he is 5 weeks in. This man hasn't gotten paid and has the same joyful attitude every single day. And he's like, I get back pay. It was just like, wow, what a humbling experience. And so it was a reminder of, number one, do not forget to be grateful. Do not forget to be thankful. And man, if you live here stateside, if you live in America, yes, there's a lot of things that we have a long way to go. Yes. And the opportunities we have here, it's don't forget to be grateful.
Yeah. And on top of we have a long way to go, we have also come a long way.
Come on, babe. So good.
Like, we were not, I mean, I wasn't alive 60 years ago, but we were not the same country we were 60 years ago. Mm-hmm. The freedoms that we have, like, and I think a lot of people forget that. Like, there is so much freedoms that we have that I know that I would not have had in India. Mm-hmm. I've shared this memory with you so many times. Like, I remember being a kid in India, like I was probably 2 or 3 years old, and the streets were like plastered with political posters. And, you know, as a kid, I'm just messing with it. Like, I think we were waiting on our bus or something. So I'm like messing with it. And like, I happened to lift the corner of one of the posters, you know, like, you know, I have a peeling thing. I like to peel things off. So I'm like, I think I was just about to go do that. And I remember my mom saying, like, you better be careful. Like, do you want to be hurt by that political party? I'm a kid. I'm like 2 or 3 years old. Like, if they got mad enough, they would not have stopped from hurting a child, essentially. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, we have the freedom to go protest. We have the freedom to be who we choose to be, you know, and what we want to be. So, like, there is no perfection. There is no perfect country. America is not perfect. But that is also the same thing for, there is no perfect marriage. Like, we're not perfect. Mm-hmm. We have our flaws. There are things that drive each other nuts about the other person, you know, that we do. We've woken up every day for the past almost 12 years and just said, like, we choose to continue this. Mm-hmm. You know, we choose to become better people. So
what you said is we get involved.
Right.
It's funny because I'm currently in a position on the Army side of things. I'm in rooms I didn't think I'd be in 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Like it literally wasn't even a thought. I don't mean that from a standpoint of like, oh, I have this to overcome. Not even that. I'm saying like the thought didn't even come to mind. Mm-hmm. And I'm literally in rooms that I never thought I'd be in. So here's what I'm saying. If you're going to complain about it, then do something about it. You lose the right to complain about anything that you won't participate in.
Right.
Either you're part of the problem or you're part of the solution.
Yeah.
And that's saying a lot for me because I'm not a black and white thinker. All right. But if you're going to be the person that complains and does absolutely nothing, then you are part of the problem.
Yeah.
You have a choice to make. You're not helpless. Do something then. What you wish you could do for all, do for one. In any context. If it's with your church, do something. If it's with your job, do something. If it's with your family, do something. I'm not talking about the things you can't control. That was leadership lesson number 2 for me when I was in Afghanistan. I'll never forget. I came back home, called back home so frustrated. And my pops was like, okay, like I was frustrated at basically certain levels within my unit. And he asked me, he's like, can you control that? I said, no. And then he asked me something else. He said, can you control that? And I said, no. And he gets to the third one and he goes, can you control that? I said, yeah. And he said, then that's the thing that you make a difference in. Mm-hmm. And it was an instant shift for me, you know? And guess what? Because the Lord trusted me with that, I'm at 3 levels up now. Yeah. So now I have a wider net. And I just, you as my witness, I just got a voice memo from someone that I'm mentoring right now who's literally in the same position I was at 15 years ago. Yeah. It's like, I would have never known. I would have never known. But it's because I stuck with that, going to Jalen Brunson. That's 15 years of work ethic. Yeah. To be where I'm at, along with the grace of God. So if you don't like the thing, whatever reason is, whatever barrier you have to deal with, then do something about it. Be the change that you want to see. And don't forget to be grateful. Like, be thankful of what it is you do have and how far you've come. You know, there's no such thing as perfect. Yeah. That's unrealistic. No one lives this life without getting some scars and some bruises and losing some limbs in the process, spiritually, mentally, mostly, in some cases, unfortunately, literally. Yeah. No one goes through, but how do you respond to it? And you have, as corny as it sounds, we've heard the statement before, but it's so true. You have an opportunity to be bitter about it or become better about it. And I never want my situation or circumstances to be the reason why my character or my integrity or my attitude changes. Like, I always want to be the person that's just, going back to my friend, I want to be the person that's like, man, I get to be here.
Yeah.
Not in this, not where we manipulate that statement, not where we're trying to, like, isn't this great because we're just trying to win people over? I'm not talking about that. I'm saying just a genuine, like, go back to the first moment when you were part of something, whatever it is that thing is, and be thankful. Yeah. And no one's saying it also dig your head in the ground. We're not saying those other things don't exist. Whether it's racism, whether it's colorism, whether it's abuse, whether it's privilege, whatever it is, we all have it. Everybody has it.
Yeah, I was going to say, we dealt with it in India, like growing up, it's colorism and caste, a caste system. So it's, no one is absolved from these struggles. What I have learned is moving from India to America is, in India, if you're born into one thing, that is the one thing you'll always be.
Wow.
In America, like, you can be born into an addict's home and become the president of this country.
Come on.
Like, that's just the biggest thing I've noticed. It's just like, what you're born into does not dictate, Again, it does go back to accountability, though, and you taking ownership of your own life. It does have, you can be the victim for the rest of your life. We were all dealt cards that we didn't want.
Everybody will be victimized, but you get to choose if you want to stay a victim.
Right.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to be victimized.
Right. Even the person who's killing it.
100%.
Yeah.
Everybody at some point is going to be victimized on more than one occasion.
Yeah.
You get to choose how long you want to stay a victim. Well, Mark, it wasn't my fault. You're right. You're absolutely right. It wasn't your fault. And it's 0% your fault maybe for where you're at in life, but it's still 100% your responsibility to do something about it.
Yeah.
100%. And at the expense of trying to not Jesus juke it, but I'm going to, it was 0% Jesus' fault for him to go to the cross. For the words of our friend Phil. Yet he took on 100% responsibility. So if we are people of faith, we're not people of excuses. We're people of, you can grieve it. Matter of fact, you have to grieve it, express it, mourn it, but don't numb it. Don't just, well, when he does this, when she does that, it's not that other person's responsibility.
Someone has to go first.
Someone has to go first. And Jesus did.
Might as well be you.
Come on. So I said, I had to say, like, just, life is way too short. Going back to the beginning of our conversation, do not die waiting for someone else to save you. By the way, you have one. His name is Jesus, and welcome him into your boat of grief, of heartache, of temptations, struggles, barriers, whatever it is. Welcome him into it and be the change that you want to see. You're not helpless. You are powerful. You are valuable. You are worthy. You are gifted. You have everything that God has called you to do. And if you don't, then ask him for it. The Lord gives it freely. He gives you wisdom freely, discernment freely, grace, patience, all of that. And part of how he does it is through testings and hardship and trials and tribulations. No one gets out of life unscathed, but you're powerful. You are. And even when you think you're not, that's what the Holy Spirit's for. So lean into him. That's all I got. This is great.
Thanks, World Cup, for teaching us life lessons.
Hey, if you enjoyed this episode, please comment in this episode below. Hey, I will play it. You know what? Let's do it for old time's sake. For those who've been rocking with us, they know this tune all too well. But listen, if you guys enjoyed this episode, for real, please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't. Yo, we're 30 away from 1,000, by the way.
You know what? I'm sick and tired of asking y'all to subscribe. I just want cool new editing features, dang it.
I don't know if that's how it works, but hey, listen, seriously, for those who've been rocking with us, thank you so much for following us. Tag us on Instagram too, at Mark K. Benton 2, at
Jubina Judy.
Okay.
But also,
you changed it so many times, girl.
No, okay, no, but Jubina Judy has been like for the past 3 years.
I've been used to my whole thing in the last 5 years. That's why. That's like day one.
Also, like, can y'all send me a message if you do add me? Because sometimes I'm just like, who's this random ad?
Yeah, she has a private page. I'm sorry. Yeah, she has a private page. I have a public page. Yeah. So yeah, I'm taking all. followers. let your girl know. But hey, thank you guys so much for rocking with us. We love y'all. Seriously, thank you so much for just following us, hanging with us. I hope you guys enjoyed this. We love you guys. Like she said, message us too if you got questions. We love interacting too with y'all, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Peace out. And why are there so many Jalens in the NBA?
Later, guys.